Welcome to a Casual Adventure Notes podcast, the CAN podcast, lazy, easy listening about little life adventures.
And lessons.
I'm Doz.
And I'm Debbie.
It's looking a little bit different for our video watchers, I guess. And the audio might be a little bit different as well because I'm experimenting with something new today. But we're actually in Hong Kong. So we can kick stuff off with a palette cleanser, except we didn't bring any of our books. We don't really have anything to show. So I guess the palette cleanser is the fact that we're actually in a different country than we normally are. So I think we can actually go straight into the main course.
Yeah, if it was actually daytime, we would have opened this and you could have had a nice city view. But it's pitch black. So even if I open it, yeah, it's all black. So no point.
Yeah, we're filming from our hotel and we have this really nice view at the moment, but it is nighttime. So even when we do open our curtains, it's kind of pitch black from a camera's point of view. So whatever. Anyway, main course, I thought on the topic of travel, I thought we could share our airport experiences and stories because I realized something. So I used to actually travel a little bit for work, mostly interstate. And I used to have this reoccurring thing where almost every single time when I go through the checks and stuff like that, when you go through and you put your bag in the
customs.
Is it customs, even if it's domestic flights? I don't know. Anyways, when you have to go through the checks and they put bags in the scanner thing, and then you go past a metal detector thing, and then you just leave, right? But almost every single time, and I traveled frequently, almost every single time, I would always get pulled aside to do further checks as if I looked sus or something like that. And I'm not really sure why, and I couldn't pinpoint it because even in hindsight now, it's been years, I still don't really know why I got pulled aside. Maybe it's just because I was alone, I was easy, I don't know. But I realized this time I didn't, which was rare. It was so smooth that I was a bit oh, that's uncommon. That's not a normal thing that ever happens to me. It was just so easy and smooth. But the only funny thing that happened was, actually, you know what? First of all, I have to give credit to Australia's airports now because it is so much easier to travel now and get checks, and it's more efficient compared to when I traveled years and years ago. Because you remember, back in the days when you had to bring a carry-on bag and you had to pull out your laptop and pull out all your liquids and everything like that and separate it so that they could check it, or batteries and all that. And it's just you would have 5 external things outside your bags that you had to take out, rush, and then rush to pack it in. It was so stressful going through those. But at most Australian airports now, you can keep your laptops and everything inside and it just scans it fully. So it's just a lot more efficient. And I noticed that specifically because I don't think that's a standard thing across airports internationally at the moment. So, yeah, I just really appreciated that because I was oh, this is such a nice experience going through those checks now.
That would have been a good thing to mention. What's the dessert? What's the thing we call where we're grateful for stuff?
Oh, yeah, at the very end.
Yeah.
I'll take a note for that as well.
So, well, you've already done it then, technically.
I can still say it again. And but this time it was really funny because I had this pink sparkly jumper that I wear, and then it was really funny because I was going through the bag check, and then it was pretty cold, so I had a top, that jumper on, and then a jacket. And I know it's normal, they prefer you take your jacket off, so I took my jacket off and I put it out of my bag, and then the custom lady just stared at me, and she wasn't rude at all, but she's just oh, your jumper's really sparkly. I was oh yeah, thanks. And she's it might do funny things when you go through the scan, so maybe you can take that off as well if you have something underneath. I thought that was actually quite funny.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I had a hoodie on and they didn't ask me to take it off. But I also was only wearing the hoodie, so I actually had nothing on, but they wouldn't have known that anyway. Maybe that's going to the whole sort of genesis of you being a sus person, hence why they're let's make sure we scan the jumper because she might be threading in something that's not supposed to be brought in.
Yeah, to a certain extent, it's better than what used to happen, which is I used to go through the detector, nothing beep, but then they would stop me and they would ask to pat me down. They were very polite about it though. Like they're just like, because I'm a female specifically, they're always like, do you prefer to have a female person pat you down? Do you want to go to a private room or are you okay here? Blah, blah, blah. But this time I didn't. This time the only thing that happened was like they asked me to take an extra jump off, but she did ask if I had something underneath first. I think if I had not taken it off, they probably actually would have asked to pat me down afterwards, but it was pretty easy to get through this time round.
Yeah, airports are just not a great place to be in. One is it's almost dreading. It's like the dread before you go on a flight, and if you're going on a long flight as well, it's not exactly comfortable to be seated for such a long time. I'm very fidgety. I can barely sit still in a cinema, and that's like for a movie, which is at most say 2.5 hours. But it's 8-9 hour plane ride, like the one that we just did. Like that was a struggle. I also don't sleep. I can never sleep on a plane. I just can't, no matter how tired I am. So, like for this trip, like I didn't sleep the night before we went on the flight because I think I was just like too full of adrenaline and the fear of like sleeping in and missing the flight, or maybe the excitement or whatever. So I pretty much like didn't sleep for like 36 hours, effectively 36 hours. Yeah, so the whole day before. Yeah. And then the whole thing, customs, and then just waiting around is just, not pleasant. I don't know how you can ever make like flying, ever pleasant,
Traveling.
unless it's like there's something like I would rather just like teleport, and be in the place. I don't think there's anyone that would like not opt for teleportation, than actually go on the journey of a flight and stuff. Even if you're like on like business class, first class, or whatever, I feel like time is of value. One, but also just being on an aircraft as well. Like it's kind of like a little bit, not the greatest in terms of comfort because it's like super cold in the planes, space, and then obviously like we'll go through the whole experience, but like the food and everything, everything's better on land, essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
I think some people really like flights, but I think there is something to it about like long flights in particular that I don't know if anyone would actually really enjoy that because to a certain extent you're kind of like you're contained in a space where you're very limited with your movements and stuff. So that's always going to be uncomfortable because I think as humans it's like natural to want to like stand, move, even if it's like a little bit. And I think that's a limitation on flights. And then to not be able to do that for a long period of time as well would be like quite annoying. And then yes, it's difficult to have like a full rest because it's not the most comfortable thing.
Maybe it's different if you go first class and you get like, so I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube on people who like literally get almost like a small like pod, which is like got a full double bed, and then so you can pretty much like have that sleep, and then essentially have a stewardess, or what do they call air attendants, flight attendants, like serving you food constantly. So maybe that would be a much more different experience than say flying economy. Yeah.
I was actually thinking, so I used to romanticize in my head when I was younger that being a flight attendant would be like one of the best jobs, like for multiple reasons. One, superficially, I was just like, I just love flight attendants' appearance. Like I love that there's like a uniform look. They're always kind of put together. They feel
very
like they're
polished.
Just like, how there's that thing about like the cheerleader effect where like when you see groups of people in like the same outfit, like it kind of just adds to their
facade.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something there's something there that makes it so much cooler. So flight attendants are always in uniform and they're always in groups. So there's just like something cool about that. So there's that superficial reason. And then also like the idea, especially when you're younger, you're like, oh, what do you mean? You get to travel for free all the time. You get to experience all these places. But I realize like now that I've had the privilege to actually travel more, like I actually have such a deep respect for flight attendants, especially for those who have done it for so long, because traveling isn't that glamorous all the time. And then it's traveling and customer service. And sometimes passengers aren't that nice. And some people aren't that easy to deal with. And you have to like then be stuck with them in a contained space for so many hours. Like it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and it's very cramped spaces and like if you get pissed off at a colleague, it's not like you can really walk off and leave the office essentially.
It's not that simple, is it?
And yeah, you're right there. Like they always are very polished looking, like especially like the females like a full makeup on and having to be like readily available anytime someone presses that, bell button, whatever. And even those little carts that they roll and like handing out food and like pouring drinks and stuff. It's like, I mean, you're on like an aircraft which has like turbulence, which can be really unsteady. So having to do all that, be in a like good mood and even like where they sort of hang out in the back, it's like a group of them and it's such a small space. So again, maybe for me it's like such a deal breaker because I'm a bit like claustrophobic and stuff. Like even in our hotel, like the shower is like, I mean, you can like move around in the shower, but like it's almost the size of like, it's like half the size of like a normal like toilet cubicle. And I'm like, I'm going to find myself showering and I'm like, oh, this is like a little bit tight. We're very blessed with, space and big bathrooms back home.
Yeah, you don't deal with small spaces very well. So I think places like Hong Kong, like a lot of Asia, they struggle with space. I think a lot of people are used to actually living in smaller homes and in used to spaces. But like
I think it's very Australia. Yeah. We got a bit
very
more
out back. It's like there's land.
Well, actually in Australia, most of the land is pretty much unusable because you can't really grow anything. Because it's like, so it's only like the areas like towards like the edge of Australia which can be like inhabited. So most of the space is inhabitable. But I get your point, like Hong Kong, Japan, like land-wise it's much smaller and that's why there's so many like high rises and so many compact apartments. So you actually look sort of go on YouTube and look at like apartment living in Hong Kong, like it's so typical where like one room convert, like they have to like push things into walls and pull things out and that you convert like, a bedroom into a living room and then living room into a kitchen into a bathroom. And it's because like they can't like have all those, designated areas like in one sort of at the same time in one area. So there's a lot of like pull out beds and stuff like that. So it's actually, it's actually very innovative how they've sort of, had to design apartments or, any sort of living home area just to accommodate the lack of space.
Yeah, super impressive. Going back to plane experience, speaking from a passenger's point of view, do you ever get stress on planes, not only from the claustrophobic thing, but just from the whole experience? Like it's quite funny because it's designed for long flights. They design it in a way so that you can rest and you get fed at meal times and stuff like that. So for example, for like an 8-ish plus hour flight, there's normally 2 meals. So let's say you fly in the morning, they'll most likely serve you breakfast or lunch and then probably dinner by the time like the hours pass, plus a snack in between. So you're always fed and hydrated. Like they start by giving you like a bottle of water, you get the meals, you always get like a cold drink or a warm beverage. You get blankets and pillows. And then I've noticed that they do this thing, and I think it's by design, where like they start off the flight, let's say it's a daytime flight. They start off the flight like the daytime. And then like after they serve the first meal, they slowly start dimming the light in the plane and then like closing all the things so that it's dark.
It's
And
like
then
kind of forcing you to like
sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like encouraging you to like take a nap or whatever for a couple of hours. And then it's another round of meal time. And then it's like wind down, and then they'll slowly start like turning the lights on again just before you land. So you're kind of like waking up. So that I think like the idea of it is like so that you're not awake for that long in such a small space. Like at least part of it, they're trying to almost like stimulate that rest so that like you do nap for a couple of hours and hopefully come out of it feeling a little bit better about it.
Yeah.
Or like time has passed, which I think is really thoughtful.
It makes sense because sleep just in generally, you know, sometimes you feel like you've slept for an hour, but you've in fact slept for like 5 hours. So it does kill time. And then probably from the sort of logistics perspective, like I'm sure they're prepping meals and cleaning up and doing stuff. So like to have everyone asleep means they can do that.
Yeah.
In the background. It doesn't work for me because I can't sleep. So I'm literally up, like looking around.
Now a lot of people
and trying to like watch shows to distract me. But it's actually strange because the flight we went on was a morning flight. Not like super early, but like, what was it? Like 9, 10 a.m. ish. And then like we got on, and then like you're right, they fed us, and that would have been within like the first 2 hours, and then they like closed, they turned the lights off, and I was like, I was confused by that because I was like,
a couple hours in,
but even a couple hours in is technically, you go back, you know, from Australia or even Hong Kong time, it was like still afternoon, like it would only been like say like 1, 2 p.m. I'm like, so the lights off makes sense when you're like leaving and then it's like nighttime already. So then, you know, they feed you and then they turn the lights off. But I was like confused, like, because it was still
because you're trying to make
afternoon. It's still like early afternoon time in Australia and in Hong Kong, which are the destination. So like, why are they turning the lights on? But I think you're right. It's because they kind of just want you to all sort of to sleep regardless. So then, yeah, they can do their stuff in the background.
Yeah, because I think you're thinking about it from the point of view of like in your own little world where like things should be working within your time zone, but that's not the case because everyone has their own time zone. So I think they just do it purely based on like the duration of the flight.
But everyone on the flight came from Australia, so
but doesn't mean everyone's
on the same on the body clock.
But it's not like everyone's from that time zone. What if you're just like passing by? You know what I mean? Like I think it's based on the duration of the flight rather than
like. I get it. It's just it's a struggle to like, especially if you had a full night's sleep the night before and then you went on the plane in the morning and you're like, yep, I'm up. And the next minute you're like, why are the lights off? I think I already had my 8 hours sleep like a few hours ago. Yeah.
Even though we like say that it's a long flight, like it's actually quite funny how fast everything happens though, because that's what stresses me out. Because like the flight experience is obviously designed in a way to be quite like to fill up the time. Like there's not a lot of dead time besides maybe the couple hours that they take to try to encourage you to sleep, which I assume in that time they're doing stuff like heating up food for the next round or something like that. Like I'm sure there's a lot of logistics behind the scenes that we don't see or know about. But I was thinking about it from a passive point of view, and I think this is actually more of a me problem rather than an overall problem. But there's like so much like stress and pressure that like comes with it, because by the time they set your meal or give you a snack or beverage, like the way it works is like they do the lap. So they finish the row and they go around the thing, and then they do another lap. And then the second lap is like for them to collect rubbish. And there's literally no pressure for you to give, like to finish everything and give them the rubbish in their first round, because I think they do another lap.
Oh, if you finish, you can just press the bell and they'll come click.
Yeah, like there's no pressure for it. But for some reason, inside my head, every time, like, I don't eat slow because I'm like, I'll see them like start the row and I can see them in my line of sight. And I go, oh my God, I have to quickly finish so that I can give them my rubbish. Like I'm like, in my head, I decided that I must hit the timeline that they prefer or their ideal timeline to finish and give the rubbish. So I always feel rushed, like, eating and trying to finish everything. I also feel weirdly rude not finishing meals on the plane. And I think that comes from the mentality of just finishing food in general. Like I struggle with leaving food there. Although I've gotten to an age where now my body doesn't really like it when I overeat. Like I think I get punished for it more than I did when I was younger. So now it's a little bit more hard. But there's like a mental game that always plays with me when I get plain food. And now it's like sometimes too much for me, or I don't like it, so I don't want to finish it. But I feel like I need to finish it, and I need to finish it before they come to collect it. So I get like
finish
this,
your food. You eat generally quick though, so I don't think that's much of an issue. Although it's mostly because you're probably eating 2 meals. Because if I don't like it, I don't eat it because I'm like, it's not worth with calories. Like if I'm going to eat something and take the calories, it has to be nice. So I think you end up eating like multiple meals, like 2 meals on the plane.
I like to finish
because I'm like, I don't like this, so I'm like, you can have it. The airplane food is not great.
No, but it's better than it used to be.
I don't know. I didn't fly much when I was younger, so I can't really compare. But again, it's probably a different experience if you're first and first in business class.
I think there's practicalities with plane food, so I don't think you're ever going to get like a full gourmet experience.
No, I've seen I've watched like some YouTube videos of people who go on first class, business class, and it looks pretty good, like a full steak and, get the whole served on a plate. So it's not like in a little foil wrap tin.
I can't imagine it being that good compared to like if you went to a steak restaurant though.
And prawns, like it's like a lot more fresh produce. So hopefully one day we get to experience it. But economy food is very much lunch tray style. You get like a piece of bread, some butter. Sometimes it's like a little side salad or like a like cold like fruit or something, and then it's like the heated food, which is generally always the same thing. It's always like obviously depending on the meal type, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Like it's like breakfast is always like a standard sort of like eggs, tiny sausage. Actually, I would equate all that food to the quality of the food you get at an IKEA cafeteria, or slightly worse. Like that's kind of like the style and quality of food of airplane food. Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think it's better, personally. I feel like I don't really...
Well, it's better than just getting crackers and cheese.
Yeah, I don't really remember the food from like years ago, but I just don't... I remember it not being as good. It's still like I wouldn't rate it and be like, oh my God, you have to fly this airline and try this meal. It's great. Like I would never say that, but like it's pretty like decent now.
Yeah, I think like even if I don't like the sound of the food, I will still get it because I'm like, I've already paid for the ticket, might as well. And so every time they go around offering drinks and snacks, I always say yes, and then I end up like giving it to you, or end up just trying like one and then like throwing it out.
You need to stop that. It's bad
for you.
For me, and it's just wasteful.
Oh yeah, because I got a can of like a soft drink, and then I didn't drink it, and I left it, and then I was like, I don't want to drink it because it's not chilled anymore. And then I asked for a new one when they were doing the rounds, and then I was about to throw out the one that wasn't open, and then like the lady like grabbed it. She's like, oh, it's not open, so she kept it. So I was like, oh, okay, look, you're just gonna throw it out. I guess it's still brand new because it hasn't been opened. But I always love getting like the snacks, the chips, because I'm assuming it's obviously the altitude and flying up with the compression, because the packets like blow up into like a little pillow, and then you open it and it's almost like a little like balloon or something anyway, which I think is so cool. The whole sort of I don't know how to explain the science behind why it like
I failed science in school, so don't ask me.
Why it puffs up, but that's so cool because when they serve it to you, it's like just in this thing, and the chips are also chilled. I think because it's stored somewhere, and obviously it's really cold. So I remember like getting Doritos. I didn't even like Doritos. I don't know why I even got them, but I've just tried one. Probably gave it to you, but it was like in that little puffy bag, and then I ate one, and I was like, oh, it's like chilled. So I loved everything chilled with it. It's like soft drink,
chocolate,
water.
Yeah, there's people.
No, not chocolate. Chocolate has to be like room temperature because I don't want it to like be, because it's already hard, like a chocolate block. And then chocolates have cream in it. Like if it's like refrigerated, like the cream gets hard. Like you want that cream to be like, you know, a nice silky, oozy consistency. Although like the ice cream that they get, like obviously they give you dessert. Remember the ice cream? I always find like the airplane ice cream is like really super hard. And so you kind of have to like to really, like if it's a like a, say like a Magnum or paddle pop, like it's hard
You have to wait.
You have to wait a bit. And then I remember like once they served us Haagen-Dazs and it was like a little chew. I remember like the spoon, which is like this weak ass plastic spoon, couldn't even like dip it in to like dig it out. But yeah, that's like you said, the operational issues on food being served on the plane.
Yeah, it has to be more practical than it is good. Like they try to find the balance, but I would say the SKU would have to be practical because they have to feed you something that like you can actually eat safely over.
Yeah, I was surprised that they started like using like metal like forks and knives again when they serve you on some of the planes.
When we got wooden ones.
No, we've had metal ones before as well.
I don't remember.
It might have been like on Japan Airlines actually. Yeah, so because then that just meant it was easy to cut stuff, and because I think there's a few people that really don't like non-metal steel utensils. So yeah, I was actually surprised when I think it was the one we just went on, which was with Qantas, but I'm pretty sure like Japan Airlines had like metal utensils served for being used. But actually, I know one of the reasons I also don't like to eat that much on planes is because I try to like minimize use of having to go to the toilet, because I think if you watch previous podcasts, like I'm really picky about bathrooms. Like public bathrooms are like my Achilles heel. Like I just hate having to use a bathroom that isn't my own. And the plane bathrooms are just like, they get so much foot traffic because there's only like four for how many people, like, and they're tiny, and it's like also just again a closed space, public use. It's just like it's kind of all the makings of like my worst nightmare. So then I just try to avoid having to use the bathroom. So never, I don't think I've like had to ever like do a number 2 on a plane. Number 1's, well, I feel a bit icky doing that, but do you know like there's some people I see like they walk around the plane, including the bathroom, and they walk around in like their socks, like, you know, some people take their shoes off.
Yeah.
I was like, that's like the grossest thing I've ever seen. I was like, how could you wear even like socks? Like, just put your shoes on. I know, like,
you're a bit high maintenance, my dude.
Would you?
I wouldn't personally.
Exactly.
But I don't really care if other people do it. It's like up to them.
It's gross. Sometimes like you go to those, it's like all wet, and I'm like, your socks are like absorbing unknown wetness of those bathrooms. Oh God.
True.
Yeah.
What's Achilles heels?
It's like your like sort of your like a weak spot.
What's the?
I don't know what the sort of saying is. I think like literally if you injure it, like you pretty much like can't walk.
And then my laptop, so I can't look it up.
There's like a saying like it's like your Achilles heel. It's like,
is it a Greek god?
I think it's something to do with
Greek mythology.
Yeah, but it's actually a name of like a specific. I'm assuming it's like a tendon or tissue in your foot.
Oh,
and
it's just biology.
Yeah, and it's like essentially like, you know, like when you're playing a video game and it's like a monster, and when you attack it, generally like it does no damage, but then there's like a specific spot when it opens its mouth or something where you attack it and then it gets injured. That's like the equivalent, like the human's equivalent is like, Achilles heel, because like, once you like damage that or tear it, like you're pretty much out of action. Like you won't be able to do anything. Well, we won't be able to walk, and pretty much you need to walk to do anything really.
I think I've heard it before. I think I didn't really ever understand what it meant. I think I like assumed based on the context, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's a Greek mythology story, because I think there was a book that someone recommended to me with Achilles in the title, but now I forgot.
It makes sense because I remember watching, I think it was a movie, Troy, and I think like that was where one of the characters like got shot in from an arrow, and that pretty much like came out.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where I learnt the saying and the whole genesis of that. I'm sure there's an actual like
origin
and stuff, but
so I want to know the origin of God, the word, the expression Godspeed. Godspeed to you, sir. Speed.
Godspeed's like that's like a special ability of Killua from
That's what I heard
Hunter
it the first time.
when he like does his crazy like lightning running around stuff.
And I think it's such a pretty word.
But Godspeed's like, it's like a good luck kind of, it means good luck. Yeah, that's like the...
Yeah, so I only noticed it afterwards. I heard it the first time in the anime, and I was like, cool, I really like that word. Maybe it's because I associate it to the character and the power, I'm not sure. But I also think it's like a pretty word to say and look at the way it's written. And then because I was like hyper aware of it, and then I noticed that it's like a common expression that I've heard people say. It's been quoted in movies. Oh, interesting. So I was trying to figure out what the origin is, but I haven't gotten around to looking into it.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like a whole bunch of phrases and sayings that we, like, when people say, like, break a leg, like in theatre and stage, like, meaning good luck, like, how is that possibly related to, like, good fortune? Breaking your leg, especially in theatre, because I'm assuming, like, you're going to have to, like, walk around and do stuff.
That's
unless
true.
Your role is, like, based in a wheelchair or a bed or something. But yes, you say these things, you probably don't really know what the background story is. Like one we were talking about before, when we were eating McDonald's, was why do we call like hamburgers when they're beef patties and not pork patties? Like ham is pork, so why don't we call them beef burgers?
I don't know.
But we call them hamburgers. And when someone orders a hamburger, it's beef.
Yes.
So why the hell are we just calling beef burgers?
I don't know.
Anyway, but I'm sure there's a background around there. I'm sure it was like, it used to be, maybe back in the days when burgers started becoming popular, it was originally ham. And then there was just a saying, can I get a hamburger? And then next minute, beef became more popular or more available, and then we started swapping pork for beef, and then but people just kept on calling them hamburgers. Maybe we'll look this up just to confirm. I'm sure there's a more simple explanation.
Made me think of two things. The first one is, do you think a hot dog is a sandwich?
No.
Why? There's two pieces of bread and there's protein in the middle.
I associate a sandwich as having to be like from like a squarish shape.
But you can have buns that are sandwiches.
But it has to be.
How about Vietnamese banh mi? That's a sandwich.
That's
in a bread roll.
That's more roll.
And a hot dog is just a bread roll.
Huh?
But a hot dog is just a bread roll.
Yeah, so a hot dog is a roll. And a roll is anything that is like not square shaped bread. And then a roll is like every sort of like a bun, not a bun, but like I don't know.
The first time I heard it, because I think it's a famous thing that people say, the first time I heard it, my immediate reaction was like, no, a hot dog is a hot dog, because if I ever want a hot dog, I have an expectation of what it is, but I would never ask for a sandwich and then describe the ingredients to make a hot dog. Like I found like it's a noun enough to suffice what I want. So that was my immediate reaction. But I listen. One of the many podcasts that I listen to, and a common one that I regularly listen to, title's called "Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich?"
That's the name of the podcast.
That's the name of the podcast. It's by Mythical
It
Kitchen.
is very thought-provoking.
I think it was just, I actually don't know the origin story because I found the podcast after it's been around for a while, but it's by Mythical Kitchen, which are very popular YouTubers online that do like really cool content. And then it's just, it's one of their podcasts that they do. And all they do is like they have topics every week similar to stories like that, or like just, it's all like food genre. It's very, very, like I like it. It's very casual. But yeah, in the episode where they talk about, is a hot dog a sandwich? Yeah, so my immediate thing was like, no, it's not. But then when they discussed it, they're like, think about what a sandwich actually is, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, I think a hot dog is actually a sandwich by definition.
It's like a sort of a marketing thing that's been done for so long where the people who, the deli people were like, we don't want a hot dog to like, it's beneath the sandwich world.
Potentially.
And so they're like, we'll market.
Its own thing.
We'll just pay for this subliminal marketing to make hot dogs like not in the sandwich realm because it's like not good enough.
I think it's funny.
But I love a good hot dog though.
Me too. It's one of my guilty pleasure. It's a comfort food. The other thing I thought of is, this is a fact that I know, it's my party fact. The other expression that's quite common is, what's the 411? And what's
true.
the 411? Like, what does that mean? Like, anyone today would be like, I don't know, it's just an expression but what's the 411 originated because before smartphones, before the internet, when people wanted to get information about the weather that number or what time it is, they would call that number. They would dial 411 and ask the question, what's the weather right now in this city? What time is it in this city? Blah, 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 blah. It was Google before Google was a Google. So it was a hotline that you called to get information. What's the 411?
So maybe like in 100 years when there's a saying like, just Google it, which means to search for it, but then Google doesn't exist. And everyone's like, okay.
Yes.
So
it's so fun when words have like origin, like there's a historical context to something.
Yeah.
I
That's
find that
a good
fascinating.
way. I mean, it means that service has a legacy through a saying.
Yeah.
And it will continue to exist beyond its life.
Yeah.
Its actual physical
I
life.
think it's more of an American thing, but people call tissues clinics.
Clinics. Oh, yeah. That's
like
right.
they
The
always, do you
brand.
have a clinic? I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
But like, I always call it a tissue, but a lot of people don't call it a tissue. It's quite funny. I didn't realize that
I have a
thing.
Band-Aid. Is Band-Aid a brand or is it actually the name of the thing?
I think Band-Aid is I don't know.
So then that means like technically, again, it's like some great marketing where the brand becomes the item and then we associate that with being the item. So then when you go out to buy stuff, you're like, there's actually only one Band-Aid, so you buy the branded Band-Aid one. Because you're like Band-Aid. It's like, it makes sense because it's a band and it aids your cut.
Yeah.
So, but then so definition-wise, it makes sense what it is. But if it's the brand, then what do other companies that have the same product call it?
I don't know.
Bandage. Bandage. Maybe it's Bandage is the actual thing. And then Band-Aid is the brand. So, yeah.
I'm not sure.
That's another one of those things that will, again,
you know what
last the
I
test of
found
time.
funny is that Coke No Sugar is now called Coke No Sugar, but when they first got released, it was called Coke Zero. So anyone in the generation when it was first Coke Zero still calls it Coke Zero.
Oh yeah.
But when you order it with new generation who didn't know it as Coke Zero, they're like, what? Like when you're like, oh, can I get a Coke Zero? And they're like, what? And you're like, Coke no sugar, they're like, oh, yeah, it's called Coke no sugar.
Yeah, that's right. I still call it Coke Zero. Coke Zero just has a better ring than saying Coke no sugar. Coke no sugar is like, it's just like, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't flow as well. It's like telling, it's like you're describing what you want versus the name of the item. You know, it's like, I prefer it's like calling someone by their name versus, you know, calling them what they are. Like,
I don't know why
human.
they changed it. I'm sure there's a reason.
I think
Pepsi calls it Pepsi Max.
But I think Coke Zero was implying that it had absolutely.
Zero sugar.
I thought it meant like 0 calories.
Oh, it could have been a double meaning. I'm not sure.
Maybe that was seen as being misleading because it has a little bit of like, it will have like, it has like a tiny amount of kilojoules. So maybe then someone like was like, oh, we might get sued for like falsely advertising it as Coke Zero.
It's like when Red Bull had to like
the give you wing thing.
Yeah, they got sued. I don't think
and that's a dumb one. Like where clearly it's not like some magic potion. Whereas like Coke Zero is the one that you probably think could legitimately make the public or consumer believe that it's absolutely no calories or kilojoules when you consume it. But it has it's like essentially almost close to zero. Like, I don't know, I think it's like 8 kilojoules or something. 8 kilojoules is like, I don't even know, it's not even a calorie, I think. Yeah, maybe like 1 or less.
I'm not sure.
But, yeah.
I don't remember.
We're talking about planes and like the experience of planes and
thought of a story and then I forgot it. And then after the plane, earlier this before we were speaking about words. What's the 411?
Yeah, just like sayings that have like become part of like culture and phrases and where they originated from.
I lost the story. It's very late. Maybe that's a sign that we should.
It's not that late.
Up.
It's just
pretty late.
It's just that we're probably still jet lagged from the flight.
I think it's late. I'm tired. It's been a long day. We did over 20k steps today, so
we did a lot of things today. Actually, I'm really.
And to put it into context, I'm a very lazy person, so I don't do that on a normal daily basis. I think I'm lucky if I hit like 3k not on a normal day at home.
This is also 20k in what is it's quite humid and warm in Hong Kong, so you sweat a lot, so you're dehydrating and.
Oh my God, yes. I rarely take bathroom breaks because I swear it's so humid and hot that by the time I drink anything, like it's just like absorbed and I don't need to go to the bathroom. I actually I heard someone say something the other day. So instead of going like, I'm going to the toilet, I'm going to the bathroom, they say, oh, I just need to take a quick biology break.
That's weird.
I loved it so much. And now I just use it, especially at work. I love using it at work because everyone's like, wait a minute. But then they get it. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of fun. So I'm like,
yeah, that's not really.
So I did like a meeting the other day and then like everyone had like back-to-back meetings. So then like I start my meeting. I go, I know everyone's been in meetings all day. Does anyone need a quick biology break? And they loved it.
It's like one of those things where it's like, it's like cringy and like nerdy and it's like the nerdy scientist trying to be like cool by saying that.
I saw this.
Anyway, sorry, people say that. I don't mean to offend you, but
I've only heard one person say it and I really liked it, so I've adopted it. I saw this girl on TikTok who goes, because you know how in like corporate workplaces, there's a lot of like expression news that uses like references from just like different industry. Like there's a lot of sport metaphor, there's a lot of war metaphor, organize a war room. It's like a common thing in corporate. In sport, they're like, let's kick some goals and stuff like that. So then this email goes, we need more feminine metaphors in corporate life. So she just doing skits and they actually make sense. And I can imagine people using this in real life. Like she's like, just make sure that you put the primer before we get into the makeup of things. Make sure that you do the setting spray or make sure you set the spray. I can't remember the full word, but like she would always just put like makeup references in to like speak corporate, and I just thought it was really funny because I was just like, you know what? If you said it with confidence in a corporate setting, I think people would just take it because there's just so many.
Make sure you put toner before you put product on.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. Like it's really
some
quite
skincare thing.
Yeah.
So it's like the idea of like, you know, things will just gel well together or be more effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have there's something. I thought it was really funny. She has some really good ones. I wish I wrote them down, but I didn't write it down.
Or it's like, make sure you salt the chips when they're fresh out of the deep fryer. Because chips taste better like when you put them on like right after you've just cooked them because it like absorbs the seasoning better, from the oil.
We don't have a culinary book. I think there is actually a science about when and how you season food to get the maximum output. But I know there must be something about adding salt fresh, but I don't know if it's like additional to seasoning it prior. Because like when I bake, the rare cases that I ever bake, like cookies or brownies and stuff, it tastes so much better when I sprinkle like fresh flaky salt straight after it's come out of the oven. Like I think it makes such a difference. And I feel like it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't have the same effect if I sprinkle it.
I think it's the absorption into the fries that, and then it just tastes better.
Actually.
Whereas I find that when I do it right, like after, it kind of just falls off sometimes. And then it doesn't, and then all the salt at the bottom.
Just timing.
And it's just like,
timing matters.
I know, it's so funny like how cooking, like you could do the same steps, but if like you do them, or even like cutting, like sometimes the way you cut food and cook it can change the flavoring. Like if you're dicing it versus just slicing something.
I think so.
There's like a complete,
using the right knives, because if you use a blunt knife and things like, for example, when you cut herbs, you bruise it and it ruins the aroma and flavor.
Yeah. Or like, I think I watched like some random like cooking movie about like chefs, and then like a chef like was like to test like he would hire. He's like, make me fried rice, and then I think one person just got like made fresh rice, and then someone like used old rice, and then like old rice actually tasted better, which is actually probably quite commonly known that you have to use old rice for fried rice. It just tastes better, like
the texture. Yeah, that's something.
Which you just think, fresh is always better, but then
not in this case. No.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I nearly just divulged and
I love food stories. In Food
podcast.
Wars, which is an anime about cooking, the test to get into this culinary school is cook me a dish with egg, because it's such a simpleton, like a simple ingredient, but you can do so much with it. So they like to watch people's innovation, technique, when they if they champion the egg, like what they choose to do with it. And I really like that as a concept.
I think I watched it was like Kitchen Nightmares, and when Gordon Ramsay was trying to teach like noobs and trying to test like how good they're cooking. Like the first thing he would get them to cook is an omelette, a basic omelette, and for some reason like most of the time they would fail. But he's like, it's too overcooked, it's undercooked. So
although there's different omelettes, so I don't know, like is he like looking for a specific omelette?
This is like a very basic omelette that you eat for breakfast.
Like I would assume it's a Western one, given it's Gordon Ramsay.
But he's like, it's literally just, he's like, it's just an egg, no other ingredients, and it's like whisking it, and then
you could probably be doing the same thing though, looking at techniques and stuff. So maybe you can cook it differently. But if you have intentions, it's if you're
it's like maybe it's the universal like egg medium. Well, medium
it's
to
not
like
a universal omelette.
I think so.
I know there's like a whole.
I'm sure
there's a whole guy that went viral on TikTok.
I'm sure
an omelette and getting all these hate comments because they're like, "That's not an omelette," and he's like, "Actually," and then he did a whole series of omelettes around the world, and they're all different.
But maybe this is the English omelette, because
exactly.
Gordon Ramsay is English, where it's like there's an equivalent to a steak, where a steak is well done, medium, rare. And that's the equivalent of an eggs, rare, medium, and well done. And for these newbie chefs that he was trying to teach, they kept overcooking the egg. And he's like, it's overcooked. And I was looking, I was like, oh, that's how I normally cook eggs. But then apparently he said I've been eating my eggs overcooked the whole time.
I think that's wrong. I think culture context makes sense because I think there's a lot of Asian dishes where the eggs are.
But that is part of the cuisine. That's like the dish.
Yeah, intention matters.
But there's some, I don't know. Anyway, we can talk about eggs all day long.
True.
Because they are, like you said, versatile and delicious.
But let's wrap things up for today anyways. It is time for our dessert. Desserts are an intentional moment that we like to take to appreciate the sweet moments of our lives. So whether it be something that's happened recently, something that we're just thinking of, anything that you're kind of thankful, grateful for?
Yes, I am very grateful for my electric shaper and the existence of electric shapers because mine actually broke just right before this trip. And literally like the night beforehand when I was packing it. And so I've had to like buy like a manual razor and I just used it. I haven't used a manual razor for like probably over 10 years. And I just realized how convenient an electric shaver is because I've cut myself like multiple times.
Oh no.
Shaving. So I'm definitely going to buy an electric razor replacement when I get back home. But yes, so glad for it because it's so safe. You can really like, well, you wouldn't know, but because you don't shave, but you can really like, do so much and not get like, cut 1,000 times on the face. So grateful for the electric shaver.
I am grateful for modern medicine, specifically because I recently went away on a strategy week for work, which meant that there was a lot of people, long days, close to each other. So like a prone space to kind of get sick very quickly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did. Like there'll be one person that just started with a cough because they're like just tired from the week and then it spread. So then it was really funny because straight after the strategy day, if people weren't already getting sick towards the end of it, they were getting sick straight afterwards. Like there were so many people who had to call in sick like the following week and I wasn't one of them. And I truly believe it's because I took the precautionary measure knowing that I wanted to prevent being sick because of this instance where I got updated vaccinations for everything. I was taking all my vitamins. Whenever I was feeling unwell, they say some of the best time to take medicine is actually prior to something. So it's preventative rather than afterwards. So I took all the drugs that are legal. And I genuinely think that's why I hadn't fallen sick. So I really appreciate modern medicine, the science that went into it, because I feel like it's proven that it works.
That's also why I hate planes because you can find space
to get sick.
Yeah, and that's why I've always gotten sick.
People get sick so commonly
on holiday.
Yeah,
like last time when we went to Japan, I think probably if you watched it, you would know I lost my voice like literally the day of getting to Japan. And now I feel like I'm getting like a really sore throat, but that could also just be from all like the fatty food we've been eating because we've been eating like kings and queens today.
Yes.
But yes, another
Holiday
reason
diet.
I dislike planes.
Last thing is meal prep. So meal preps are things that we're looking forward to that we want to shout out, goals we want to set, just want to be a bit more accountable. So we say them out loud.
Obviously being a holiday, I'm going to be looking forward to all the new, food sites and things that we don't get to see, in our everyday lives back in Australia. So we're in nearly end of day one in Hong Kong. It's actually been really great eating all like the local cuisine and experiencing this sort of a new culture place that we've never been before. So yeah, looking forward to sort of continuing doing that for the next couple of days. Weeks, sorry, not days.
My goal is I set myself a goal before going on holidays I like to do this every time I travel, to learn like basic words of that country, like their main language. So like, hello, goodbyes, thank you, sorry, excuse me. Those words. I did not do it this time. So my goal is to learn some of these words for Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then Taiwan, where we're going next as well. So
I was going to be surprised, but now you've revealed it.
Well, I could bleep it out. I probably won't, but I could. It's an option.
The cat's out of the bag. Anyway, but I think in Hong Kong it's like very English friendly.
It's very English friendly, which I'm so grateful for because it's made communication really, really easy.
Even the menus have like.
I feel bad because
English
you're coming into someone else's culture. The least you could do is learn like the basic necessity.
That's true. I think
I feel like it's just the polite and right thing to do, but I did not do it because I did try. I was just really, really bad at it, and I need to try harder.
Yeah, I think because in Japan we actually, maybe because we've been there like so many times, that's why we know like
Basics.
Common phrases. But
I think
this is the first time we've gone to like a country where it's like sort of where it's Cantonese, Mandarin language,
I haven't been
really
exposed to it as much. Like
you also watch a lot of Japanese anime.
I know. I was going to say, I think that's actually where I picked up words.
Yeah.
Which is so bad. And to be fair, that was like decades of me picking it up. I think if I learnt that language from scratch, I don't think I would have picked it up.
Even Korean, when
K-dramas.
we went, from K-dramas and stuff. Like even I know like Korean swear words. It's kind of shows I watch where they spell them up like, what's the one? Shiba. Is that?
I should bleep that. Anyways.
Shiba.
It's time to wrap up. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening, watching from wherever you are in the world. We appreciate you. Thank you. And we will see you next time. Bye.
See you later. Bye.